Okay, this video is relevant for anyone who is appearing for CFA Level 3, either for the first time or especially those students who have not been able to clear, जो एक attempt या दो attempt या तीन attempt दे दिए हैं, but CFA Level 3 they are not able to clear. So this video is relevant for them. Do listen to it right till the end. Now this language is often used by YouTubers, but I am not a YouTuber. If I am telling you do listen to this video till the end, I am telling for a reason. Let's hope you will. Now I am going to discuss what are the main reasons why students are not able to clear CFA level 3, those who are not able to. This problem is especially amplified in India. So I discussed with a number of students and I came to some solid conclusions. So I'll talk about that. Plus, those students who are from SSCI and who are not able to clear or who are going to appear for the first time in future, how can I increase their probability of clearing the CFA level 3 exams? That also I'll discuss towards the end. So let's start discussing. Now you must be aware that CFA level 3 exams is a combination of item set oriented multiple choice like level 2 plus written. So if there are 11 questions, say 6 are written questions where you have to explain, and the remaining 5 questions are item set oriented multiple choice questions. Regarding the item set oriented multiple choice questions, students generally do not have a problem because they are coming from level 2, so they are very equipped with that. But regarding that written portion, there is a lot of hue and cry, and I don't understand why. Let's discuss what is the reason for the same. Now the first thing, if I discuss holistically, is that level 1 becomes easier for many students because there are a lot of questions in level 1. So if there is a boring chapter, say on ESG, corporate governance, students from India are normally not liking the chapter because they don't like too much of theory. But because there are so many questions supporting that chapter, that after doing a number of questions, they are more or less okay with it because it works. They can't speak out the chapter, but they are able to do the questions because they are repeating a number of questions. But in CFA level 3, also in CFA level 2, there is a dearth of questions. So sir, if questions is the main reason, how come in CFA level 2, problem is not that magnified? There are two reasons for it. Number one, everywhere it is announced that CFA level 2 is the toughest level out of the 3. So therefore, after clearing level 1, the student has a certain respect towards level 2. He knows that now there is a bigger mountain to climb. So his approach is very, very hard-working, perspiration oriented. He gives a lot of importance to it. And secondly, CFA level 2 is valuation, number crunching. So half of the stuff in CFA level 2 boils down to ultimately solving the question. It is not too much judgmental where you have to just think qualitative aspects. Now both these things are not working at level 3. Number one, after clearing level 2, the student is somehow assuming that now he would clear CFA program because only level 3 is left. Okay, that is feeded in the system somehow, I don't know how. And secondly, CFA level 3 has a qualitative aspect. It doesn't have valuation aspects. So because of which, every time that he is reading the core, when he is asked to, please read the core, or every time he is reading an explanation of a question, the explanation is so daunting for him. It's either daunting because it's complicated, itna complicated words पे लिखा हुआ है, or it is daunting because it is voluminous, कितना ज़्यादा लिखा हुआ है. So either the quantum and or the complexity of the language is making the student diffident. So when he reads the core, he is diffident. पता नहीं अंदर ही अंदर वो एक बैठते जाता है कि नहीं पता नहीं अजीब है, ठीक है. Level 1 में also, when the qualitative stuff was there, this problem was countered by a number of questions. But level 3 में questions are not there and plus numbers are not there. So that is really becoming a challenge for the student. And that perpetual feeling of the fact that you are not in control, it really hurts inside and your confidence goes away. Even the basics, for example, there is an inverse relation between bond price and interest rate, and the fact that long-term bonds are more volatile than short-term bonds. Therefore, if there's a scenario where interest rates are expected to fall, we got to move our portfolio to long-term bonds. Even such basics, when they actually when the students actually confront the same in the CFA level 3 exams, I don't know where the brain goes. It is happening, and therefore I'm telling you, and this is actually based on a feedback of a number of students and feedback based on my questioning them and asking them in a complicated manner as to what to rate. Plus, coupled with all this is the fact that in CFA level 3, there is a dearth of quality mock questions, as in the mock tests are not available abundantly. And plus, even if mock tests are available, they require that evaluation should be there on a personalized basis. So I may be teaching, say, 2,200 students for CFA level 3. Now, if I conduct a mock test for them, it is not just sufficient if I issue suggested answers. The point is, suggested answers are there by the CFA Institute also, but it is not working. So what I am required to do is that I am supposed to evaluate their answers individually, and then they will know where the mistakes are there. But that service obviously takes a lot of time. Time has a lot of opportunity cost. So when I was saying that I will speak about what I have plans for future SSCI students who are going to appear for CFA level 3, it is in this lines only. Okay. Now, some technical mistakes are occurring at the level of CFA level 3 candidates. Although they know that there are command words in the learning outcomes like calculate, like determine and justify, they know that, but still they just know it superficially. For example, when the question says calculate, ultimately the answer has to have a numerical figure. And then there's a confusion that, sir, can I only write the numerical figure or should I show the steps that are involved in the numerical figure? If you read the guidelines of the CFA Institute very closely, you will find that you may write only the numerical figure, you get full marks. But if you show the steps of a numerical question, then if there is some mistake in between, some obvious mistake, you will get part grading. You will get some part marking. So mistakes can happen. If somebody is damn confident that no, mistakes doesn't happen, I can't make a calculation mistake, I think only number should be shown. But if somebody is really afraid that I may make a mistake somewhere or the other, in that case, I think the steps, but steps not in English language, very, very roughly written steps should be shown, because see, please understand, the CFA Institute is cognizant of the fact that this is a global program, and therefore this being a global program, it is attempted in countries by, say, Indians or by other countries people who do not have English as the first language. So they may not be very good in designing English language statements. Even in a normal answer, the way I dictate in class, I tell the students, please write in terms of dash, dash, dash. Now, how do I give an example? Let's take an example in the current context. Suppose you confront a written question in the CFA level 3 exam where they, in the write-up, they tell you that the inventory to sales ratio has peaked in our economy. Okay, say I'm talking about the US economy, inventory to sales ratio has peaked. Okay, so you know that when does the inventory to sales ratio peak? The peaking of the inventory to sales ratio is a lead indicator that the US economy is going to enter into a recession. Okay, ceteris paribus, of course, other factors have to be seen, unemployment rate, GDP growth rate and so on. But ceteris paribus, a peaking of the inventory to sales ratio is indicative of a potential recession, because when we are actually at the top end of the business cycle, over there sales will slow down, but businesses will keep on manufacturing or producing or buying inventory they do. So sales slowing down, inventory still at the same pace, inventory to sales ratio will peak out. So the question that they have asked in the, say, written question is determine whether asset allocation should move towards bonds or should move towards equity. Okay, we should shift tactically asset allocation towards bond or towards equity. So you have to choose. So obviously we choose debt. And the second question is justify the same. Okay, with one reason or two reason or whatever. In my question, let it be one reason. Now the student is writing as a part of justification. I have been asked regarding the fact that whether asset allocation should be moved in favor of debt or in favor of equity. Why are you writing this? Why are you trying to write the same thing which is being asked? Then the student who is not writing this, he is writing the shift towards debt should occur because inventory to sales ratio has peaked. You will not get marks for it because you are writing a fact which was already written in the question itself. You have to state the implication, the fact that the inventory to sales ratio has peaked. It means that there is an impending recession, and to fight the recession, interest rates will be cut and therefore bond prices will go up. And even this part did not be written in this language. If I would have been giving the answer, the justification part, I would have simply perhaps written like this: inventory to sales ratio peaked, dash, sign of impending recession, dash, anticipated interest rate cut, dash, bond prices will go up. That's it. You don't have to coin English language sentences. But the problem lies in the fact that the suggested answers which are given, they are given in a voluminous manner. Any suggested answer you read and you will find that they are given in a voluminous manner. Now when they are given in a voluminous manner, why are they given in voluminous manner? I think there are two reasons. One reason is lethargy on the part of the CFA Institute. When they coined the suggested answer, they just copied from the co-reading. It's obviously convenient to copy from the co-reading. And the second reason that they would cite as an alibi as to why they have given the answer in an elongated manner is that they will say that we did this so that the student will be able to revise the core. He'll be able to understand the entire stuff. He'll be able to see the tertiary areas. Therefore, we gave the entire portion. Okay. Now, the problem is that the student implicitly thinks that that suggested answer is what he has to write in the exam. And it's almost impossible, given the time constraint and given the English potential, that you can reproduce that type of suggested answer in the exam. Okay, even 10 people combined cannot produce that suggested answer, but we, especially in the Indian education system, have been fed with the belief that when there is an answer, you got to write that answer only. People will not acknowledge this, but it is there in the entire blood veins. Okay. You are supposed not to write that way. You are supposed to write broken languages in dash form to the point. Okay, English language is not a concern. Your time will be saved. And also one more thing. When we talk about time management, okay, so many people have made videos on time management, the fact that level 3 papers could not be completed and all that. It acts to the negative. Why? Because student is approaching the paper like this. As soon as there is a question, he is rushing to write the answer. There is a question, you are rushing to write the answer. This approach is bad. I think you need to think about the answer. There should be some 1 minute, 2 minutes that should be invested in thinking about the answer. Maybe 1 extra minute in then designing the structure of the answer. And I have already spoken about this in an earlier video that you should think in Hindi and write in English. If your thought process goes in a language other than your mother tongue, believe me, your thought process will go awry. You should not be thinking in English. You should be thinking in Hindi and then thinking, say, 1 more minute about how to write the answer in brief. You have to apply this. Now, suppose you listen to me and you're really impressed by this video. That won't help. What would help is that if you now pick up the questions from the candidate resources, read the answers that are written, okay, and then think about it, how will you write it, and then write it that way, okay, or at least in audio record it that way, or write it that way. Make a Word file or make an Excel sheet of this particular question of the co-reading, what will be your answer, okay. And if you can't understand the stuff which is written in the core, the explanation is too tough for you, why don't you just submit that question and the answer in, say, ChatGPT 4.0 and ask ChatGPT to make it short, to make it in Hindi, to make it in English plus Hindi combined, to ask it to explain it to you, okay, like it is to explain a 5-year-old person, okay. So these things, technology has to be used where it should be used. Record your own audios. You don't like audio recordings? Please write your own answers, maintain a file of it so that when you next time revise candidate resources, you don't have to read their entire answer. You can just read your answer written. Make some last minute notes for yourself. that you are going to access towards the last 10 days of the exam or the 5 days of the exam. It helps a lot. I used to do it in audio stuff. You may do it in written stuff. Okay, when I say last minute notes, I don't mean to say written notes. It could be in audio form. You have some students, when they come to me that they have not cleared CFA level 3 say for 2 times, and I ask them, they tell me, sir हम लोग पूरा करके गए थे, पूरा. लैंग्वेज नंबर 1. लैंग्वेज नंबर 2, सर हम लोग लेवल 2 में जो टाइम दिए थे ना, उससे भी ज़्यादा टाइम लेवल 3 में दिए थे. 2 लैंग्वेजेस. नंबर 1 हम लोग पूरा करके गए थे. नंबर 2, लेवल 2 में जो टाइम दिए थे, वी गो मोर टाइम इन लेवल 3. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड द लूप होल इन बोथ द सेंटेंसेस. द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस, पूरा. What is pura? What is complete? Number 1, did you do the candidate resources multiple times? Number 2, did you do the candidate resources properly, as in understanding, or just for the sake of doing it, where your diffidence is there and you are just moving ahead, because then what does it matter if you just keep on doing it? And many a times if you get the answer right, you are not checking the answer, because now you are thinking that, okay, I got it right, why should I read? Only for the wrong questions you are checking. Whereas we clearly know that performance evaluation, as in CFA level 3, is a case of identifying whether the performance, say the correct answer, was achieved by luck or skill. Because luck is not repeatable, skill is repeatable. So was it skill? Did you understand and did it right? Or did you do it right by fluke? It has to be seen. And then when we say pura, so number 1, the candidate resources, which also covers the co-reading end of chapter questions. Did you do it properly? And number 2, the various examples which are given in between the chapter. I remember one of the good students at my end, Aman Ladsaria. They were around 20 days left for the CFA level 3 exam. And he asked me, sir, what should I do? I should do Squeezer, or I should do this or that. And I asked him, you have not done the examples, the blue boxes of the core? He said, no. And I said him, please do that. And then he found that he was not prepared for the exam that way, because there was a different level in the examples of the core. He shared so many questions and doubts with me, which I shared in our Telegram channel, CFA level 3. And I've been doing it every term whenever the exam comes, that these are the doubts asked by a good student, okay, regarding the blue boxes, the examples in CFA level 3 core, okay, and these are my solutions given. Please look at them. So people are not doing. People find convenient in looking at, say, Squeezer or whatever it is, but they won't do what is served by the CFA Institute, what is diamond and gold. That won't help. Even after saying all this. And the second thing was when students say, let's say I studied more for CFA level 3 than CFA level 2. Number 1, we are not asking you that if you attempted CFA level 3 3 times, how much cumulatively did you study? We are not asking you that. We are asking you the first time, how much did you study? Secondly, in level 2, they were numericals. So when you were studying, it was getting into your head. In level 3, it's all subjective. Was it getting into your head? You are the best judge. And you will get the answer to it. Anyways, having said all this stuff, the point is that my students, at least at SSCI, and also general students, masters across the globe, may feel like, sir, it is easy to point out problems. It is difficult to come out with solution. And I have decided to come out with a very difficult solution. Something which will really have a toll on my time management and my health and all that. But I am doing it with some of the CFA level 3 students who have already cleared. It's a team of people whom I have requested for the purpose of serving me. Of course, the team comes at a cost. So listen carefully. What is the plan ahead? Although I'll elaborate upon the plan in the next video. The plan is that we are going to come out with CFA level 3 mock tests, which are going to be personally assessed person by person. CFA level 3 mock tests, yes, you heard it right, and they are going to be personally assessed by me, person by person. कि अगर आपने आंसर लिखा तो आपका आंसर में 5 के बदले 3 मिलेगा, क्यों? और अगर आपको 5 के बदले 5 भी मिलेगा, आपने लंबा लिख दी है, ओके, आपको इससे कमती लिखने से भी मार्क्स मिल जाता, तो आपने अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया है. तो डिक करके एक एक जन का आंसर चेक करके, येस वी विल प्रोड्यूस इट. ठीक है, आई एम मेकिंग अरेंजमेंट्स फॉर द सेम एंड आई विल अनाउंस इट perhaps in a couple of days, so that August examinees can benefit it. Obviously, perpetually we will have that system wherein we will have a team of CFA level 3 people guided under me who will do this evaluation and who will cross check with me as to whether it is okay or not. I will discuss the modalities in the next video. I hope I covered everything. But I'm a person who doesn't run PPT, otherwise there would have been a PPT show over here. Reasons for failing CFA level 3 and reason number 1, 2. But I'll do something, ये same चीज I will make a blog out of it. Okay, so you will find that when the video is released, in the description to this video, there is a blog written. If you want to read कि sir ने क्या क्या बोला, I really want to summarize. So in that case, all that will be written. And maybe in the blog, 1 or 2 extra points will be there, which I may have forgotten in this video. Okay. So number 1, go through the blog. I think it helps. And number 2, wait for the new video, say after a couple of days, in which we unveil the plan for personalized evaluation of mocks that SSCI will conduct for the first time at CFA Level 3. I think this will significantly increase the probability of students passing. Will this mocks be available for non-SSCI students? I think yes, but that comes at a price. Okay, I'll discuss all that. I'm just deliberating upon all that. Since the last 2 days, I'm fructifying that with my technical team, and I'll come out with a video soon, maybe in a couple of days. Thank you.